Everyone, welcome back to another video. So a lot of you are probably thinking that I'm just some kind of like sugar junkie now, or junk food vegan or whatever, that just simply, eats like sugar and candies and whatever. Well, although yes, I do eat sugar now, and I'm not afraid of some more refined foods to get the fuel in. But yeah, I'm still definitely enjoy myself some nice whole foods, like some fruit and things like that. I always do try and make my first two meals of the day fruit if possible. But then obviously, of course, there's days where I don't have fruit for lunch or something. But pretty much always I try and have fruit for my first meal. Usually at the moment, since mangoes seem to be out of season, in the form of banana ice cream, where usually I blend bananas and strawberries, or bananas and mango when we had mango. But also I like to get frozen peach as well. So I like to blend the frozen peach with these bananas too. So yeah, typically an ice cream, but in the past I was doing a more sort of raw till four style, and even recently I've done that on occasion. But at the moment, the mangoes seem to be out, and I'm left with just watery kind of fruits that really, at the moment, because obviously I'm trying to recover. I'm really trying to focus on calorie dense fruits and calorie dense foods. So I've not really much interest in sitting there eating lychees, or dragon fruits, which I don't like the taste of them anyway. So I've no like interest in sitting there eating fruits like that are either too fiddly to get like 3 or 4 kilos of actual flesh in. I don't know if you've ever eaten rambutan or lychee, but they're very fiddly, and you only get like each one is like this big. So you end up peeling like 100 of them just to get like a kilo of flesh. So yeah, I'm really not interested in that kind of stuff. Of course, have them on occasion. They taste nice and stuff. But my real favorite was the mangoes. When the mangoes are in season, I'd buy like 20-25 kilos of mangoes a week, or sometimes every other week, and I would get through them in the whole week. I'd be having 3-4 kilos gross weight, and I'd be eating at least 2 or 3 kilos of actual flesh. And I really enjoyed it. I'd just sit there and I'd just put a YouTube video on or something, and I would just mono on them. So that would either be breakfast or lunch, depending on how I felt. And yeah, like usually an ice cream. So at the moment though, I'm currently making pancakes for lunch. And then having some syrup and things like that on them. At the moment, I am doing a lot of training as well, so I am trying to sort of keep the calories rolling in, which of course isn't really possible just purely eating whole foods. So definitely, I do recommend eating as many whole foods as possible for your lifestyle. But the main thing is not being like too purist, not like going hungry because you don't have any potatoes in the cupboard, but you have pasta. So don't be afraid of like eating some pasta or something like that, because at the end of the day, it's all clean carbs. It's not like you don't need to worry about it, right? It's not like eating donuts, which is mainly fat. So yeah, I mean rice and things like that as well. I'm actually eating white rice recently as well, because I find that I can actually eat more. Although the brown rice is nice, and I do enjoy it, and I do enjoy the purple rice too. I feel like maybe once I've recovered, I'll probably transition back to brown and or purple rice, because I really did enjoy the flavor and the texture as well. It had more of a almost chewy, kind of crunchy texture, which was nice. Obviously not crunchy, but you know what I mean. More texture to it. Obviously that was the fiber. But yeah, I feel like I can definitely eat more white rice. So sometimes I've even eaten 5 cups, which is about 600 grams dry. I don't obviously do that every night. It depends on my activity, but I can definitely get in more when I do allow myself to eat a bit more refined. I always try and have some vegetables with my dinner as well. And like I said, most of the days I'm eating fruit throughout the day. On the pancakes, if I have pancakes for lunch or oatmeal, for example, like I said, I'll usually pour like sugar and syrups and things like that in it. But also, I will usually try and have like berries with it as well. So I'll still try and get as much fruit in, because at the end of the day, I really do enjoy the fruit, and I really do enjoy having meals of fruit. It's certainly very refreshing after you've done a ride, especially here, because not only do you feel fatigued, and you want like a quick hit of sugar when you get back, but also you want that hydration, because obviously when you exercise, you sweat a lot of water out and things like that. So you don't want to come home and have like dry toast, or something like that. You want to come home and you want to have some kind of like hydrating meal. I mean, if that's in the form of a watery kind of gruel like oatmeal, that you enjoy, then that's fine. But for me, I don't like my oatmeal too watery. And I definitely really do enjoy the sweet fruits. I'm craving sweet, definitely for the first 2 meals, and then by the end of them, I've had enough, and I'm craving savoury, like curries and pastas and things like that, and potatoes and such. So yeah, I definitely do recommend whole foods. But just don't be like purist with it. If you're like cycling a lot, or running a lot, or swimming a lot, or you've got like 10 kids or whatever, right? So I would essentially say base your meals around whole foods, and then you can always substitute and add in addition some refined. So for example, if you want to make a banana smoothie, but you can't eat that much of it, and maybe it's only like 500 calories, then bam, throw 100 grams of sugar in, and it suddenly becomes 900 calories, right? Or maybe you're eating a bowl of oatmeal, and you think, oh well, I can eat 200 grams of oats or something, and then you're eating your 200 grams of oats, and it's like 700 something calories, and then you think, oh well, how can I get more? And then bam, 100 grams of sugar again. That bumps it up to 1100 calories, right? So just think of things like that. And if maybe you were going to have potatoes for dinner, but you can't eat that many potatoes because they are really filling, then maybe have half and half. So maybe have half potatoes, half white rice, along with your vegetables and things like that. So definitely don't try and be like 100% purist, I'd say, because at the end of the day, we don't live in a pure world, right? So we have to kind of supplement here and there with calorie sources. I've certainly gone several days where it's been like on occasion where it's been like I don't really have any proper food for lunch, and oh, look at the time, I've got like some teaching later on or something, and I don't have time to like make pancakes or oatmeal or anything like that. So it's like, oh, what can I do? Well, I'm certainly not going to starve. That's what I'm going to do. So I make myself a sugar water, and I sip on the sugar water, and as I'm teaching or whatever, and that keeps my body fueled at the end of the day. And it's not in starvation mode. Some people would rather starve. Some people are so pure that if they don't have a piece of fruit or a piece of raw food in front of them, that they would rather just water fast. Like, it's crazy. Like, I can understand that mentality, but it's not the right mentality in this world if you want to be productive and you want to get stuff done, right? So I'm more of the mentality that I want to try and do my best to eat healthy foods. I do enjoy these healthy foods too, but I know that I can't get what I need just eating whole foods on how active I am. So I have to supplement, you know. I have to put the sugar in the water as I'm riding, you know, so I can keep fueled and, you know, keep pushing the watts and stuff. And I know that sometimes, maybe like the other day, I did 100k. I knew that I had to eat well, and I had to listen and honor that appetite. So I made my pancakes. I ate my pancakes. They didn't even touch the sides. So I made another bowl of oatmeal, put more sugar in it, right? And then that got me through. That got me energy. That gave me loads of energy, and you know, the next day I was pretty much recovered for sure. My bum was sore or whatever, but I didn't feel like fatigued, or I didn't feel like hungover. You know, some people do so much exercise or activity or just simply being busy, and they don't eat enough, and then the next day they feel hungover, and they have that kind of hungover feel where they just don't have any power in the legs, and getting up off the sofa is a struggle. I've been there. You know, I've done crazy rides and not fueled enough, and the next day, I'm limping around. You know, so do I recommend whole foods? I do, but also don't be afraid of adding in some refined. Right? I mean, if you've got a lifestyle where you work in an office and maybe at maximum for exercise you just do yoga, then I don't see why, just eating whole foods is okay. But I'm not saying you should be drinking sugar water whilst you're doing your yoga or anything like that. That's for sure. But if you feel like you have, if you feel like you want more energy though, and you feel like you can't eat enough whole foods, then for sure, add a bit of sugar on your cereal and in your oats, or add a little bit of salt to your dinner, and then maybe you can eat a little bit more. Things like that. There's little tricks that we can do to make sure that we're getting the we're getting in the maximum amount of energy, because we don't live in a natural world at the end of the day. We don't live in a world where we walk a few meters, grab fruit from a tree, sit there, eat it, and just like have a nap, and then that's it for the day. We don't have any plans. We're running around, we're going here, we're forgetting to eat, we're doing things like that. So at the end of the day, we don't always have time to cook whole foods, sit down and eat whole foods, things like that. So sometimes you do have to make do. So at the end of the day, that's definitely what I would say. That's my opinion on it. Leave your opinions and comments in the comment section below. Like this video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and I'll see you in the next video, everyone.